Good morning everyone, my name is Kirsty Ward and you're joining me today on my little allotment, which is in Lincoln, in Lincolnshire in the UK, and it is a very sunny, even though the sun's just gone in, it's a very sunny Sunday morning in August. I think it's August the 20th, and I'm going to be showing you around my plot and giving you my August plot tour now. Ran into a few problems already. For the past 2 hours I've been trying to sort out my microphone. I have so many problems with it. I think I finally figured it out, and then realised that actually also I've lost the clip, so I can't clip it onto me. So now I'm holding it, so I look like I'm presenting a TV show. And I don't really know how far away or how close I need to hold it to actually pick up the sound properly. So I'm going to sort of hold it here and hope that it gets enough sound to the video. I tried to do some tests and I couldn't quite tell what was best, but it's always quite windy down here on my allotment, and it annoys me that it picks up a lot of that wind, so I can't ever do videos without my microphone. Anyway, enough of that, let's get to it. So I haven't been around, I haven't done a video for a couple of months, or a plot tour. I think I did one in June, but I haven't done one in July. Now, I did set some time aside to come and do that, but realistically, the weather has been so bad, and every time I had some time off to do any gardening, it's rained. So I haven't really done any gardening, which means I haven't been down to do a plot tour. So we're going to sort of skip and go from maybe quite, bare earth and small seedlings to what's going to be like full on vegetables and flowers and colour. It's looking great. There's lots of great things, there's lots of rubbish things. I'm just going to be really real and show you like the things that have worked, the things that haven't. I know I said I was going to try and do like a power hour of weeding every week. I haven't done any because every time I had some time to come and do something, the weather was bad. So the weeds are bad. Well, the perennial weeds, the bindweed, it's basically got a bed over there to itself, but I don't care. Do you know what? I realised I love coming to my allotment and gardening in the autumn and the winter and the spring, and actually in the summer it's not that I don't want to be down here, I do. I like to come and spend time down here, but I'm quite happy to just come down and water and feed and harvest things. And, I'm quite happy leaving all of the clear up and the weeding and stuff till like the early autumn time, like September, October. I think I don't always like gardening in the full sun. I quite just enjoy it at those other times. And maybe it's because it keeps me busy when in reality, like, when the weather's a bit rubbish and it gets dark at night, I think I enjoy spending my days coming to my allotment and doing stuff down here. So really, I think to say I've done nothing, the allotment looks good. Like it's flourishing, it's just full of stuff. And really, there's lots of things that I've just self-seeded that I've just let them grow, and they've done really well, look really nice. One of them being the sunflowers that I've kind of taken over. A few things that I haven't done as well, because I ended up planting things out late, because we had that really like dry spring, and we had like that really hot patch, and I didn't get everything out, and then it just went wet, so things really suffered. But on the whole, it's looking good, and as you can see, I've painted my shed and I think it's looking lovely. Just need to go inside and give that a tidy and sort that out. So anyway, let's get this tour started. We'll start at the top, work our way down, and hope you enjoy it. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of the allotment now. The compost bays are running up there. They're fine. I've been adding stuff to the compost, probably not as much as I should, but over the next month I'm really going to focus on adding more like green and brown waste to that. I've still got my wood chip piles that need spreading. I haven't done that. And in reality, there's just a huge mountain of bindweed and ground elder and brambles that has taken over sort of the back bit of this part of my plot, that sort of runs along like that bit up to that side of the shed. So that's going to be one of my tasks in the winter. I'm going to try and like basically clear out as much of that and dig the ground as much as possible and take out as much as possible, just to maybe hold it back. I know I'm not going to eradicate it, I know I'm not going to get rid of it, but even if I can just hold it back from creeping forward, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm basically going to dig the ground and then cover it in like a big thick layer of wood chip. I do also have some very thick plastic that was already here on the allotment when I got it, so I'm going to put that down as well. Okay, now I don't know if you can see the lovely, beautiful, like orange and yellowy flowers. Now in these little raised beds, they were bare probably last time, and I just decided to sow loads of seeds. I wanted them to just become little bee and butterfly little habitats, because I wasn't growing any vegetables in them. So I just put in lots of sunflower seeds, cornflower, nasturtiums, calendula and Californian poppies, and they have absolutely burst into life, and I love them. I just think they look so nice. Just a lovely pop of colour around like the, you know, the compost space, a space that wasn't being used. My strawberry bed at the back, it's doing well. The strawberry plants didn't produce anything this year. I knew they weren't because I basically disturbed them too much. Next year they'll be fabulous because they're huge. But that raised bed is being ravaged by the bindweed and the ground alder and stuff that's all at the back. So I need to figure out if I want to move it. I'm not sure. It just depends how much I get done in the winter, you know, like clearing the back there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you like what is normally my dahlia patch in front of the shed, and then move down a bit further. Now it is a bit of a shame that I didn't get to do a video last month when my beautiful lavender path, as you can see, that goes all the way up to the door of my shed, was in flower. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It looks so nice, and there are just so many bees. You can literally hear like this humming buzz. It's so nice. But obviously they're not there. It's all died back, so I'll get that cut back soon. I normally leave it way too long, but I'm actually going to cut this back at the proper time this year. As you can see, there's lots of weeds just here. I never finished digging out this patch, and I never got my dahlia tubers in there where I wanted them to. That's fine, because what I'm going to do is you can see some beautiful dahlias at the back. There's not that many, but I'm going to take out all the dahlia tubers this year, and I'm going to dig out the weeds, and I'm going to dig through some mulch and like soil improver into these areas of soil, because they're lacking a little bit of goodness. And then what I will be doing is replanting this whole area of dahlia tubers next spring, and putting these dahlia tubers back in. But some of these tubers are so big now, I should be able to take like cuttings from them and stuff. So yeah, that's sort of this area. It still looks pretty, it's just not as flowery as normal, but there's always next year. Yes. Now it's maybe hard to remember what my allotment looked like. This was that really long bed that goes all the way down to the bottom, that was completely empty and was just completely mulch ready. I don't know if you can remember. I might just put a little video snapshot now just so you can see it. But as you can see, it was completely bare, and now it's not. We've got lots of calendula here at the front. This is all self-seeded calendula, which is always in this area, and I'm quite happy to let it go. I have grown statice for the first time, which is beautiful. I absolutely love it. So I think I'm going to cut some and use it for like dried arrangements. And then over on the other side, I've grown straw flowers for the first year, because I really wanted to do, you know, like dried flowers, and they're gorgeous, lots of different colours. In here there are some giant pumpkins, some normal pumpkins, and as you can see, a wall of sunflowers. Now the sunflowers are all self-seeded, and I just decided to let them do whatever they want to do. Now they have taken over a little bit, so I think next year I'll learn just to pull a few more out and like replant them somewhere else. But I actually love it. I just think it looks so pretty, and all of my pumpkin plants are just growing in and around the sunflowers. I've got like down this side, I've tried to create like a bit of a wall barrier to stop things coming onto my allotment to eat. So like I've built like a wall of runner beans and French beans and sweet peas and tea peas and all sorts, and actually it's worked quite well. So I think that's what I'll do next year again, is like, but start from the top all the way to the bottom, is just build like a wall of like different beans and things that grow and climb, like pumpkins and beans, peas, whatever, and use that as like that natural barrier to just stop things going on, because it seems to worked a little bit. But yeah, it's not bad. The perennial bed, I put some pumpkins in there, even though it's a perennial bed, just because I ran out of space. The artichokes did really well, however they were so heavy this year they fell over. Well, that's what I think. but then it kind of did look like they may have been trampled by something, and I have seen some smaller deer on here before, so I don't know. But next year I need to figure out a way of just holding those plants up a little bit, because they have all fallen over, which is a shame. My cherry tree was beautiful this year. I had loads of cherries on it, netted it, got here, and the netting had come off. So I was a bit gutted because I got one cherry instead of like maybe 30. But anyway, next year I'll try again, because that's what it's all about. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's fine really. Looks mental, but I quite like how busy it is. There's so many bees, which also makes me very happy. Okay, I'm going to show you my pumpkins that are growing, because they look incredible. I've got 2 that are basically nearly orange already, which is amazing. And then I'm going to take you down and show you like my bean teepee area, and then I'm going to take you into the raised bed area, which is really great, looks good, lots growing, but the bindweed down there is just honestly like horrific. and then I'll show you my tomatoes in my greenhouse. Now this is a path, but I obviously don't like to walk around my allotments, so I'll just allow my pumpkins to grow anywhere. Pumpkins are more important, so I just let them grow wherever they want. I don't know if you can actually really see the size of this pumpkin, because it's sort of, it's so spiky. It's covered by lots of things, but that's my hand on it, so it's a really good sized pumpkin. It's already turning orange, and then just here is another one, and actually the vine is going down there, and I think there might be another one growing as well. As you can see, you know, it's got powdery mildew, but normally at this point when the pumpkins are turning like orange or they've grown full size, it normally happens. I don't really worry about it too much, because it only normally happens once they've grown and they're turning. Obviously if it happens like at the early stages when the pumpkins aren't even growing yet, then you're probably not going to get a great year. But I don't really worry about it. I just let things do what they naturally are meant to do. Ooh. Sounds good. So yes, and I'm just going to turn the camera this way a little bit. Well, now this is what I mean when I say I just let things do what they want to do. We have a lovely weed here that needs to go. We have a dahlia growing that isn't, you know, flowering yet. We've got some lovely straw flowers, and then we've got a pumpkin plant that's growing along the top of everything. But I love it. It's loads of fun, and you never know what you're going to get, so that's always good. And it's colourful and pretty, so you know. But yeah, I probably could do with weeding. You're probably all going to watch this and think, Kirsty, you really actually need to weed. Stop telling us that you don't need to, because you do. Because these are all just going to seed and go everywhere. Okay, I finished doing the little video snippet just before this to move on to this next bit. I then carried on the rest of my plot tour to find that my microphone had stopped working again. I am annoyed, very, very annoyed. So I'm obviously going to re-record what I've already done. So I can't even remember what I said, but basically this is the main path that runs down the middle of my allotment, and normally on both sides of this it's bare space, and now it's full of sunflowers. I love it. All of these sunflowers are self-seeded, and I've just let them do what they want, and I absolutely love it. There's lots of pumpkin like plants and squash plants growing. There's also lots of bindweed and brambles and stuff. It's something that I'm definitely going to have to try and get on top of next year. I think it stems from the path that just runs along the outside of my allotment. So I think what I need to do is give that area maybe a really good dig just to remove the bindweed and stuff out of that. But otherwise it's looking so luscious and full, and obviously very different to those bare beds you saw at the start of the year. Now you're joining me in one of my favourite little areas of my allotment this year. Now this is at the top of that really big bed, and I've got my big wall of runner beans here. I've got pumpkins growing, sunflowers, French beans. I just really, really like it. It's just so nice, and it's kind of made this little area that I have put my seat in a few times just to come and chill out. And the other day I was on Radio 4 in the morning, so it was last Sunday morning. I can't remember what the date was. I was on the broadcasting house bit talking about my allotment. I was stood here recording it, and it was just really, really nice. My runner beans are doing amazing. I have actually not picked any for a week, so some of these are really thick now, as in like, you know, like the beans have swelled and they're probably going to be stringy. So just make sure you keep on top of your runner beans, pick them nice and young. And I was actually watching somebody's little video the other day, because I find, like, you know, a lot of people like blanch beans to like freeze them and stuff, and it's like a lot of work, isn't it? So I never do it. But I saw somebody do a little video, Hayley from Hayley's Lottie Haven on Instagram, and she just like thinly slices them and just puts them in the freezer. So I might do that as well, because I didn't realise you could just freeze them and then cook them. So I'm going to have a look into that anyway. But yeah, pick them young so they're nice and, you know, nicer to eat. And then I've got some bolotto beans growing, which look beautiful. And you can actually like save the seeds from them, so I'll be doing that for next year. But yeah, I love this little area. This is going to be the last little area on my plot tour. This is my raised bed area, and I always just think it looks so nice. Maybe because there's so much going on, you know, there's the gate, the raised beds, the arches, and my beautiful greenhouse, and I just absolutely love it. The area's done quite well. I grew some really nice garlic and onions, loads of outdoor tomatoes that are doing so well, and they're just really, really like luscious green tomato plants. So hopefully I can get them to ripen. Lots of lots of a lettuce that's gone to seed that needs to go in the compost heap. Still lots of sweet peas. I did my sweet peas really late this year, and it's quite nice because they're still flowering. Nasturtiums, little pumpkins. However, my tromboncinos and pumpkins that go over my arch didn't grow. It's fine, never mind, do it again next year. And I've got lots of pine berries that plants that are putting out extra free pine berry plants, so I'm going to cut those off and get them planted up. The fig tree looks like it's got a few figs that are ready. A lot of them are small, so might not get to harvest them this year. And just lots of like borage and sunflowers that have just self-seeded, and it's so nice. I mean, some people maybe hate borage because it's a bit invasive, but for me it's self-seeded in front of the greenhouse, which means loads of bees are attracted to it, and then they're going in my greenhouse and pollinating everything, so it's win-win. I think I'm going to talk about one last thing and then finish my plot tour for today. I was going to show you inside the greenhouse, and I did actually record all of that already, and none of it worked on my microphone, and it's just so hot in there, so I think I'm going to leave doing that. But I have obviously got some really nice tomatoes that I've harvested, so I'll show you them in a second. But horseradish, does anybody grow it? If you do, or if you're going to, it only grows in a container. Do not put it in the ground. Now, I didn't put this in the ground, it was already here, but it's just so invasive, and it grows so deep that it's just honestly hard to get rid of. I had a good dig of this area before it was made into this raised bed area and then wood chip put down, but you know, after a couple of years this horseradish has come through, and as you can see, like, it's all in front of here and it goes all the way up the side. So I need to think about what I'm going to do with that over the autumn and winter. And I think in some of these raised beds I'm going to grow some like over winter, like lettuce and things like that. I'll obviously put some onions and garlic in. I've got lots of things that I'll grow, you know, over the autumn and winter. I've got stuff that I still haven't done anything with, like I've got my potatoes that I haven't harvested and things that I haven't done. But this is the reality of having an allotment now. You know, different people spend different amounts of times on their allotment. You know, some people might get to come a few times a week, somebody might get to come once every 2 weeks. So we can only do what we can do. Sometimes my allotment looks pristine, sometimes it looks awful. It just depends what's going on. But I love this space, and even if it's full of weeds, it really doesn't bother me. It's a big space to look after on my own, so I always remember that when I get a bit overwhelmed with it. But I've got this basket of... Oh, let me just tell you as well. 1 second, I need to swap hands. Let me just get comfortable. I have a massive, massive obsession with baskets, like wicker baskets or whatever kind of baskets or tubs. I love them, and as you can see, there's some amazing tomatoes here that I've harvested from my greenhouse. I'm going to take those home and have those for dinner. But yeah, it's been a very strange season. So do you know what I'd love is for anybody that's watching this to maybe just leave me a comment and tell me how your season's going. Like, have you enjoyed the rainy season? more than the dry season last year, or do you prefer the drier season? I mean, obviously we'd love something in between, but we can't have everything. So just tell me like how you're getting on, how your allotments are, how your harvests are. Are your tomatoes ripe yet? You know, I'm getting some ripe ones, but they're taking a bit longer than normal. And yeah, what else? Yeah, just let me know how everything's going. I love to see how other people are getting on. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that follows me, everybody that subscribes and likes and comments on my videos. It means so much, and the more that people do that, the more of these videos I can make. Now, I won't be making another video until the end of September, and that's because I'm taking a well-earned trip away for a couple of weeks, and I'm going to Italy, and I'm so excited. And I haven't been away for a long time, so I'm going to go to Italy, do some travelling, eat lots of beautiful food, and I think I'll come back and tell you all about it, and we'll see where my allotment is in another sort of month's time. But yeah, if you are enjoying these videos, please subscribe. It's been lovely showing you around my allotment on this very sunny August Sunday morning, and I will see you all very soon.